All right, y'all. Listen, if I'm being honest, there is literally nothing interesting happening in the world today. If you came here from Tuesday, Barry could not be with us today, so you will have to tune in next week to see our Revelations Bible standoff. Honestly, it's an insane day today. At least, like, physically in the weather, not actually in politics or in anything interesting. So today, I thought it would be interesting, at least on a random Thursday when we have a hurricane warning and a tornado warning outside and it's downpouring rain and everything is just the same as yesterday, and the only thing particularly new is that, well, there's nothing. Anyway, that's my point. So today's going to be a show about out-of-touch celebrities, as well as the irony that is King Charles and Dylan Mulvaney. So we're going to start off strong today and just go straight into what I think was the most iconic, in like the worst way possible, celebrity event, shindig, like narcissism cesspool is, I think, a good way to put this. And that is the Met Gala. So the Met Gala happened about 10 days ago now. It happened at the beginning of May. Ugh, my nose is running. And it was anything but the classy event that they like to portray it as to all of us lowly peasant people in, you know, middle class America and to the rest of the world today. So, for those of you who don't know, and God bless you, because I wish I didn't know, and now I do know, so hence the reason why I'm telling y'all. The Met Gala is an event that they do every year. It's an invitation-only, A-list celebrity, big extravagant thing that no one actually ever knew what goes on inside the Met Gala because it was always so hush-hush. And they didn't want us to know because why should you lowly people who make less than 6 figures a year and shop at Trader Joe's and Walmart and H-E-B, why do you get to know what we do inside here? Anyway, this year we finally got to understand what goes on in this, and it was the biggest letdown I think ever. And it was just that they go in there, they have dinner, they watch some kind of show, and then they leave. So basically boring. Nothing particularly fun about it. But you know what is crazy and fun about it? The price tag on it. To get in to the Met Gala, first of all, it's an invitation only. So you can only get in there if you are invited. And this was actually an interesting year because this was the first year that they decided that they didn't want any of the quote unquote influencers in there. Like, I don't know why they would want anybody in there, but you know what? That's just me. So there were only a couple quote influencers who got invited this year, like Emma Chamberlain, Haley Bailey, which we'll get to a little bit later. But apparently the A-list like celebrities who quote worked for their fame, they didn't want all of the other lower famous people in there with them. So basically, $75,000 ticket to go in and then just stew in your own nepotism and your greatness. I don't really know how to describe this. Honestly, they seem to think that we look at them as they are these amazing stars and they're just like gods. And in reality, America and kind of the rest of the world is just looking at these people right now and going on just like brain fogs. Just we kind of just look at y'all and we go, oh, that's what you guys chose to do. Speaking of interesting choices, all of these big socialite events in Hollywood for some reason always have to have a theme, because apparently these A-list multi-millionaire billionaire celebrities can't pick out their own clothing unless their stylists have some kind of theme to go off of. So this year's theme, which I thought it was kind of ironic that it was, quote, Sleeping Beauties, reawakening fashion, that was based off of some painting of another A-list celebrity of her time in the 18th century, stewing on another lady's godliness. And I just kind of find that, oh, you guys really do love to see yourselves everywhere. So I just want to get straight into the clothes. So as probably, if you guys have been a follower of mine for a hot minute, you'll probably know that I am a seamstress. Sewing is one of my jobs that I do. I'm a teacher. I do a lot of seamstress work for commissions and cosplays and things like that. So listen, I know my way around a needle and thread, all right? This is kind of my area of expertise. My abuela taught me back when I was like yay high to a grasshopper, okay? When she owned a bridal store. So I'm not just no Joe Smo, some random chick in Texas who, you know, wears denim and cowgirl boots all the time, dissing on these Hollywood A-list celebrities with their very chic and eccentric fashion. Point blank period. But what I just want to get straight into is the fashion this year. Now, we always kind of joke that Hollywood is like the Hunger Games, okay? It's the capital. They act like it, they dress like it. It was always kind of like this just pop culture joke through, I would say, you know, the past 10 years since Hunger Games, the movie, has been around. But this year, more than ever, I think it was so blatantly apparent that these people just have absolutely no sense left to them, okay? You can look on any fashion catwalk for Dior, Dolce & Gabbana, any of them, and you look at the things that they are sending down the runway, and you can't help but go, yikes. That was a choice. That was a very distinct choice. The Met Gala this year has been no different. And quite frankly, none of them hit the mark. It was supposed to be this thing about sleeping beauties and enchanted gardens, and none of them managed to get the stupid theme. Let's just go to everybody's favorite famous person, or I should say everyone's least favorite famous person. I'm not really sure. Kim K. So this is Kim K's outfit for the Met Gala this year. I don't know what's worse. The fact that the entire dress looks like it was made out of Coke pull tabs, and then she kind of got a little bit cold, so she like took the bottom half of gray sweatpants and just like draped it over her shoulders ever so slightly. I don't know where the Sleeping Beauty aspect and flowers and enchanted gardens comes to play into this, but you know what? It was a choice. Kyla here, her look was literally a sandpaper paper mache dress that we later discovered through some leaked footage or like behind the scenes reels, I guess, that she actually had to be cut out of this dress so she could sit down, because everybody knows that walking this isn't the red carpet today, it's like the teal and white carpet. You have to cut yourself out of your dress just to be able to have proper human interaction. Oh, I think this was kind of a good summary of all of a good chunk of the outfits. So in this picture, I know 3 of these people, actually. Starting on the far left, we have Emma Chamberlain. Now, she was one of the only influencers that got invited to this, and that is because she's been doing a lot of work with Vogue and other fashion magazines and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, honestly, her outfit, very pretty. I think it gives Farrah from ACOTAR, the book series, vibes. I kind of like it. It doesn't fit the theme, and she kind of looks like what would happen if like a goth teen vampire got like invited to go to like a Hot Topic themed birthday party. But you know, I'm just trying to be nice here, honestly. Just be a little bit of devil's advocate when it comes to this. The next dude, I have no idea who this is. But his outfit looks as though it came from a vampire's tampon from the trash. So, you know, that was a choice. Also, his hat kind of looks like what would happen if you took a non-shaped cowboy hat and then like threw it into the fire a whole bunch and then brought it back out and still didn't put any of the creasing and the shaping in it whatsoever. Also, I don't know why he has that many weirdly shaped triangular ruffles, but you know, it was a choice. It certainly was. Next, down the line, Sabrina Carpenter. Now, I actually kind of grew up watching Sabrina Carpenter because she was on a TV show called Girl Meets World that was a spinoff of the old 90s TV show Boy Meets World. And then she had a music career. Actually, she still does actually have a music career. I kind of listened to her music at the very, very beginning. Not gonna lie, I kind of liked it. These days, she's like the Bratz doll to Taylor Swift's Barbie, if I understand pop culture correctly. So that's kind of interesting. She's got some very interesting outfits outside of the Met Gala, and as a seamstress and as someone who actually really likes fashion, I can appreciate that. I know I don't look it right now because I am in, denim that I got actually from a dead man's closet, but that is beside the point. Okay, next down the list. I'm pretty sure that's the guy who gave a lap dance to the devil. And that makes sense for his outfit, honestly. I don't know what look he was going for. It kind of reminds me like a glitter chigger and a frat boy had a baby, and then they had a love affair with the sad beige moms on TikTok. The moms that keep taking all of their kids brightly colored fun toys and then just painting them all beige in stupid colors. Yeah, it reminds me of that. And I don't really get the glittery abstract designs in it. It was something. It certainly was all right. Next down the list, we have Zendaya. Zendaya, also someone I kind of grew up on. She was originally on this kids Disney TV show called Shake It Up. Actually, it was the TV show that inspired me to start competitive dancing, which was a huge part of my life. I loved that. She kind of got the theme, sort of. The makeup kind of looks like if my 4-year-old cousin got a hold of my Jeffree Star matte palette and then just put her hands and then just wiped it and then just gave So it kind of looks like her and Bucky Barnes from Marvel had eye makeup intervention. Just saying. Anyway, so the point of all this is that society, A-list celebrities, are completely out of touch with us. And I said I would get back to Hailey Bailey, like I said earlier. Open internet. Anyway, so after the whole superficial Met Gala incident, and everyone kind of watched it and went, whoa, you guys are really out of touch with us. There was a TikToker who was invited to the Met Gala. Remember how I said there were only a few different A-list celebrity or influencer A-list celebrities who were invited to come be a part of this whole thing? Hailey Bailey was one of them. I don't really know who Hailey Bailey is. She's a TikToker. She's got 9-something million followers. I don't really know what she does. If I had to guess, it probably some kind of sketch comedy on TikTok. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't know. I don't follow her, and I quite frankly, honestly, don't care. But she posted a video on TikTok of her in front of the Met Gala, on the street, kind of, in this very flowery dress. Actually, here it is right here. If you can see that, with this giant flower head crown thing. Anyway, in this TikTok, it was literally just her in the street sang the audio, Let Them Eat Cake, with this little dance reel after. I can't play it because for some reason I feel the storm today is affecting my YouTube audio and I can't get it to connect, and it's really pissing me off. But so if you just want to go look it up, just go look up Hailey Bailey, the TikTok on Let Them Eat Cake. You'll find it. Anyway, everyone got really pissed at this, and I didn't really understand at first because I was like, she's just using a popular audio. Why are we all upset with her? Literally everybody does this all the time. But then I started listening to all these stitches and reels of people saying this was really out of touch because Let Them Eat Cake is a very famous line from a very specific queen in French history. Can you guess which one I'm talking about? Her name is Marie Antoinette, who was so out of touch with her people at the time that they were all completely starving because of, wars and literal recessions and famines, and the fact that they were constantly spending all of their money because they're a bunch of, stuck-up aristocrats, that when asked about it, I mean, this is all kind of alleged history. This isn't solid history fact, but it's what, we all kind of know. kind of happened. Basically, when asked about it, about her peasants can't afford bread, she's told, her people, well, if they can't afford bread, then let them eat cake. And everybody kind of went off on Haley Bailey on TikTok for saying this, because we live in a world right now where, like, it is kind of true that gas, in California is still like upwards of $7. I just bought groceries for one of my friends 2 days ago, and I only spent like $70, but that got just 4 or 5 things. Like, it was so little, and no one can afford to live. My generation has just come to terms with the fact that none of us will ever be able to afford houses. None of us will ever be able to get out of a renter situation. And quite frankly, none of us can move out of our parents' houses because it is so expensive. I live in Texas, and we have it a little bit better off than, a lot of the hardcore blue liberal cities and liberal states. But even us down here, we're kind of well, shit, at this age, all of our parents and our grandparents, they were already, married, probably popped out, 2 or 3 kids. They were already living, the white picket house American dream situation going on. No one in my generation can even fathom affording that these days. Now, granted, I do think a lot has to do with the fact that we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on degrees and education that are just freaking downright useless and do not have any space in those career fields for, the hundreds of thousands of people who are trying to now get those degrees and go into that area. So I think that might play a little bit into it. But also at the same time, I'm kind of okay, that's part of it. That's not all of it. A lot of this has to do with our idiotic government and how they are treating us and how they are treating other countries over us. I will die on this hill. I seriously will. Because in a world where we can spend upwards of $100 billion with a B dollars to Ukraine, which, by the way, has anyone actually seen any war footage coming out of this country in the past year or so? Yeah, we saw a few clips at the beginning, but it turns out a lot of those clips and videos and apparently historic events were from video games. I haven't seen nothing about that place in the past year or so. Actually, the only thing I can think of is just recently I saw a video, and it was supposedly, no one's proved this or backed this up, but it was supposedly of a firefight between a little skirmish between a group of Russians and a group of Ukrainians, and the Ukrainians started playing the American anthem, and I guess that freaked out the Russians or whatnot because they thought the Americans were here. That's all we got to work with. But I'm just saying, in a world that we can send $100 billion to a Ukrainian war that I don't even think is actually going on right now, and I think was just a complete money laundering scam. We have, homeless veterans that are getting kicked out on the streets out of veteran retirement communities to make way for the hundreds of thousands of legal immigrants that are crossing over our southern border. And we just do not give a rat's ass about any of our people, but our government sure does as hell love to take care of all of everybody else, because America is the ultimate, cash cow. We're kind of like that uncle that everyone goes to for money because he's well off and he saved when he was younger. Because everybody knows that he's oh, I can't afford rent this month. Uncle, you got some extra money for me? You can help me out. I'll pay you back. Of course I'll pay you back. Yeah, that seems to be what America is. Moving on, though, from the Met Gala. Well, actually, I should probably say it at the end of this. So the reason why everyone's pissed at Haley Bailey is because the internet has decided to do this mass blocking of all these celebrities. Even if you don't follow them, everyone is saying just block them all, stop watching them. They don't contribute anything to society except drama. And as a woman, I do appreciate listening to a little hot gossip story on a 3 or 4 part series on TikTok. I'm not gonna lie. I do like that every now and then when I'm absolutely brain dead and bored. But they contribute nothing. Honestly, I've also kind of blocked a few people. I never really followed any of them to begin with. So quite frankly, I had no one to unfollow, but I definitely kind of found a little bit of satisfactory, in blocking a bunch of them. So if you guys want to do that, that's what's trending on the internet right now. Blocking a bunch of A-list celebrities. What's the harm in it? They make money off of us whether we watch their stuff or not. So by blocking them, Go for it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Kim K actually just released a video of her being like, you don't know what it's like being bullied on the internet, where you like she literally was kind of, it gave the vibes of you lowly peasants don't know what it's like. And I'm like, this is not gonna age well. This is not gonna age well. You and J-Lo and all these other crazy A-list celebrities, like, please go back to where you came from. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. I don't need you, don't want you here. Speaking of really old people that I really could care less about, but seem to be a little bit out of touch these days. King George. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna bring this up. If I could get it to come up. If I could get it to come up. Oh. Here's the stupid file I was looking for earlier. Social media users are collectively blocking celebrities and influencers who have been silent on Gaza. Yeah, that's the main reason, is because everyone's saying that because all these A-list celebrities were silent on Gaza, that they don't care. Quite frankly, I could care less that they were silent on Gaza. It's really none of our opinion. It's none of our business. Like, it's a terrorist. Why are we trying to convince all these A-list celebrities to like choose sides? Because if I was these celebrities, me personally, I'd be like, screw Hamas. Screw all of you. There's a special place in hell for you. I hope to not see you where I'm going. But I know where you're going, because, you know, people who kill Jewish people just because they're Jewish for either their ethnicity or for their religion, that's not good. That's not good at all. I'm just saying, I don't particularly like to align myself with organizations that fully endorse genocide for one specific group of people. I never truly understood why the entire world always is mad at Jewish people. I don't know. Anyway, moving on though. King George. And apparently I need a subscription to open up this file. So like, that's stupid. But King George just recently, or sorry, not King George, King Charles. I don't know why I was thinking King George III. I have been listening to a lot of Hamilton though recently. So I think that might have something to do with it. But anyway, King Charles just recently unveiled, oh my Lanta, why does everyone want me to subscribe to their stupid thing before I see a picture of it? Just show me. Stop being problematic. Here it is. Here we go. This lovely piece of work. So this is his first, oh my Lanta. Stop it. Stop pop-up ads. I don't care about your fully electronic hybrids. Anyway, here we go. So, apparently, every monarch within the first year or so into their coronation, I guess, has to have a portrait done of them, of like the waist and up, with their full like regalia on and all of their stuff. So, King Charles just did this, and I don't really know what to think of it. Now, you could just be like, Savannah, it's just a weird painting with like this really intense red overlay. Yep, that's totally the case. I don't think it looks demonic at all. It's totally and absolutely normal painting of him that with demon looking features. Have you ever noticed though that recently with the world and with everything that's been going on, like art is just, it doesn't exist anymore? Like, see, over the past, hundreds of years, there have been so many beautiful paintings and sculptures that have just gone down through history for its impact in the artistic community because of the skill and the talent and the time that it took to do some of these masterpieces. A few that I think of are like Mr. Thinker for one of them, or the Mona Lisa, just like the pillars of what you think of when I say art through history. These days, it feels like people are just absolutely jacking with us and just trying to see how little like bullshit they can do before we say something about it. There's actually a guy on TikTok. I don't remember his TikTok handle, but his entire account is dedicated to making modern art and then auctioning it off for as much as he possibly can. And the way he goes about it is really funny. Like one time, the most recent video I saw of him was he dipped a giant stick in black paint and then just ran up and just smacked a white canvas. And that was it. That was literally it. Another time, he just basically had like a plastic bag, filled it with water, just kind of like plopped it down on there. That was art. There's another guy on here. You guys have probably seen the video because the video actually kind of went viral for a little while. But he had like 10 buckets of sand stacked on top of each other, and he unplugged the bottom bucket, and then the tower just fell over. Art. Another guy had just a trampoline, and he just ran up to the trampoline and then jumped. And then as he like arced over and landed, he just drew a black half circle. He did it twice, you know, just in case you missed it the first time. I don't know. I just feel like everyone is out of touch, and it's just to the point of where we're like, oh, what? But then when we question anybody about it and we say that's interesting, that is that really what you meant to do? Is that right? Is this right? Is this right? We're basically told, you guys don't understand. You have to have a cultured palate to understand this, okay? This takes years of refining an artistic eye to see this greatness. And see, this is what I mean. Excuse me, I'm yawning because I am boring myself with these A-list people. Why do we give any of these people attention? And you know, that's ironic coming from me because I am a like communications like reaction channel. This is what we do. We talk about things that are going on. Why? Half of these people are only famous because they're famous. And that's the part that I do not understand in our world today. Like, take the Kardashians. The Kardashians are the best example of this. Why are they famous? Because you could be like, oh, well, Kylie has like a lip kit thing, and like Kim did Skims, and the other ones did other things, you know. Kris Jenner birthed all of them. That's why she's famous. Like, but they did all of that after they got famous. So why are these people famous to begin with? I do not understand. We gave them fame for what? Why? Like, at least, okay, at the very least, the football dudes, like, okay, they do a sport. Yay, go you. You threw around a triangular shaped leather ball. Yay. I'm happy for you. Like, my 7-year-old cousin and my 16-year-old brother do that like all the time too. But like, you don't see them getting paid like millions of dollars for it. And then half these other people, okay, fine. You know, you did a good movie. You're good at acting and lying about how you truly feel, and you're really good at like impersonating a character on a screen. Am I being too cynical? Is this me being too cynical? I don't know. I'm really proud to say that I've never once cared about any of these people, and I never really want to care about any of these people because I do not find anything that they do particularly interesting. Like, all right, you might be like, well, Savannah, like, you gotta like somebody. Yeah, I do. I like barrel racing. Okay? I got a few barrel racers that I would actually get excited to meet, and I've actually met a few of them. But guess where I met these people? I met them in the wild. I met one, oh my gosh, the one guy that my family met, which was actually Tyler from Dude Perfect. We met him at a gas station at 5 a.m. because we were hunting, and I was like, that's Tyler from Dude Perfect. Great channel. You can make good wholesome content for like the whole family. Another person that I met is a world champion barrel racer, like multiple time world champion barrel racer. She is the youngest person to ever go pro. She went pro at like 9 to 13 years old. Like, she was crazy good, still is crazy good. Now she has a horse breeding empire. Her name is Fallon Taylor. I met her at Cowboy Christmas at a barrel race. She was just there. And I'm like, she was heavily pregnant at the time. So that was super cool. And she was like, I'm very sick right now. It was nice to meet you, but I really need to go throw up in a toilet. And I was like, go do that. Like, these people are real people. And see, this is why I think I truly do love the Western community so freaking much. And I love rodeo so much, because all of our quote unquote famous people in society are literally just normal people that are just doing a job. I don't know how else to describe it other than that. We're just all kind of very simple, very people. We pray before our rodeos. We put our hands over our heart for the national anthem. Like, we just go about our lives and live it. All of these other people in Hollywood, I don't think that they are actually from this dimension anymore. I truly think that they think that they are from like somewhere else, because honestly, some of them do act like gods. Some of them very much so have a superiority complex. And the first one that comes to mind about that is J-Lo. That might be a harsh take, hot take, I don't know. But every interaction that I've seen of J-Lo recently has been very much rude, demeaning, harsh, not ladylike, kind of a jerk. I could go on. She literally made an entire movie about the fact that her now mister. A mistress is a girl, so what's a guy version of that? I don't know. But she literally made a movie about how she had an affair with him, and it was like the greatest love story never told. And then she made a sci-fi movie, and like literally nobody wanted to be in it. And like she was like having to like recruit all of her friends to be in this movie with her, because like her name brand recognition wasn't enough to like get this movie like past the box office. I don't know. It's kind of sad, kind of weird. That's all I'm saying. Next, out of touch celebrity I would like to speak about today. So Peru. This has really kind of nothing to do with America, but I thought it was interesting, so we're just gonna talk about it anyway. So Peru is now classifying transgender people as mentally ill. Finally, somebody said it. I appreciate this. So true. I'm sorry if you find offense with that, but like, oh freaking well. Once upon a time, the people in our world that said that they were something else when they most certainly were not, they were called crazy, because they are. There's something not right up here. It's not clicking. It's not turning. It's not functioning right. Somebody threw a giant wrench into the screws, and just someone threw a wrench up there. Physically, proverbially, mentally, I don't know. Something ain't right. And we used to get these people help, and now we just have to like center our entire reality around their delusions. Okay? You don't even know how many people I've seen on TikTok who flat out will argue that they are a dog or a cat or some kind of weird furry animal. And if you disagree with them, they will get physically violent with you. Okay? Okay. Now that we've established that. So Peru is now categorizing these people as mentally ill, because they are. Now, why I find this interesting is because I hate that my internet doesn't hold stupid things. So if you guys didn't know, Dylan Mulvaney just recently moved to Peru because he said that he felt unsafe in America because of our transgender hatred, stigmas. I don't know. I'm still not entirely sure. I didn't even know he moved to Peru until this story actually came out. So apparently he moved to Peru after the whole Bud Light incident. I had no idea about this. I did not know that being boycotting and being so verbally open about the fact that we hate Bud Light now really made this guy move to Peru. So that was kind of interesting. So he says that he moved to Peru. He vacationed there first. And then he said that he felt safe. Like, oh, good Lord. No one needed to see that. Now you guys can see that. He said he moved to Peru. The transgender influencer, dressed in blah, 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 showed up in an LGBTQ fest, blah, 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 and said that he's moving to Peru because, I like how it says she here. It's a dude. He's got a dingus, but whatever. How he felt it, and he felt so safe, and he had to leave his native country just to feel safe, but he loves it here, and I hope he has so much fun with all the llamas and the alpacas and all that nonsense. Yet, Prue just, oh my Lanta, go back up. I don't want to go. Okay, I hate my computer today. But now, just yet 2 days ago, no, not even 2 days ago, today's the 16th. This happened yesterday. On the 15th, it was passed that Prue is categorizing transgender, non-binary, intersex people, etc. as mentally ill. The Peruvian government has officially classified transgender, non-binary, intersex people as mentally ill. The controversial decision was made to ensure the country's public health services could guarantee full coverage of medical attention for mental health for the trans community. The Peruvian Health Ministry explained, according to the Telegraph. Love it. I love it when common sense prevails once again, even when it's not for, the means that I would have wished. Do you guys think that an end justifies a means? Me personally, I don't think it does at all. I think that's wrong, because usually, as history has proven once and time again, it usually involves some form of like mass genocide or, segregating an entire group of people, just like all of that, like casual stuff. Just saying. Anyway, found that so entertaining. I really wish they would have just categorized it as mentally ill, just because it is, not so they can do their mental health benefits and put those across the board, because I'm kind of iffy on this, but anyway, I think when it comes to mental health for your medical attention needs, issues that you have to go through, anyway, the public health, the doctor's office. I hate the doctor's office. I don't know if that's particularly everybody's problem to pay for it, but I do want everyone to have access to it if they need it. And by access, I mean not being, discriminated against, but I don't feel like paying for yours, because I'm not even paying for it for myself. So why do I have to pay for everybody else when they could go get a job? Okay? I got horses to feed. I got things to do. Like, I don't have time in my life to be paying for everyone else when I still need to pay for everything I need to survive, okay? I got 3 1,300-pound animals that literally depend on me to feed them and take care of them and to make sure they don't die, because horses only ever have 2 things on their mind, and that's homicide and suicide. And listen, I'm only a 20-year-old girl, okay? I gotta do this by myself. I got vet bills, I got farrier bills, I got things to do. Anyway, that is my episode today about out of touch people, politicians, A-list celebrities, and all these deranged adults. I'm an adult now too, though, so that kind of doesn't really work. All these deranged older people who are in positions of power, who I very much so would like to knock down like a few hundred pegs until they're on their flat ass on the dirt. And then maybe just then will they start actually caring about what's going on in the world when it comes to wars, famines, the fact that no one can feed themselves, get gas, or even purchase a home, because our government has made it next to impossible for any of us to live any kind of dream, because we're all just worried about what's for dinner. So, anyway, that is the episode for today. Peace out, everybody.